up, YouTube? It is Toy Adventures here again with another figure review. And as promised, today's the 21st, and a lot of cool stuff just got released. So for the next few days, we're gonna have some pretty awesome reviews going on. Starting with today, we're taking a look at the Jurassic World, or I guess technically Jurassic Park, 93 Classic Off-Road Tracker Pack. So this is the brand new and sadly final entry in the 93 Classic line. I don't know why it died so soon. It feels like they were just hitting their stride with the with this set. This looks like, I mean, I want more of this with more of the classic old dinosaurs. We could have had a Triceratops one, or maybe they reused the Dino Defender to make it look like the Kenner Triceratops, or maybe they do a Stegosaurus one. You know, I feel like they could have done more of these sets. So it is kind of a sad tragedy that it's ending, but we're getting something called Jurassic World Reimagined. So I'm interested in seeing what those are, if those might be, you know, a bigger, broader kind of general toy line that might offer more legacy and this kind of cool throwback stuff. So we'll have to see. But for the final entry, let's take a look at what we got. We have a beautiful big Jurassic Park Kenner style box with the sunset and the black jungle. It says Jurassic Park right there. Obviously, Tyrannosaurus Rex off-road tracker. And it just has this total Kenner box art aesthetic. It does say Mattel right there, so they didn't really do the thing that Hasbro does, where Hasbro likes to just put Kenner right on the box, because they technically do own the name, so they can, but Mattel doesn't, so they can't put the Kenner on the box here. Take a look at the side. It just says Jurassic Park. Take a look here on the back. I've got a big old box. So we have the armored up version of Ray Arnold. We have a remake of the Bush Devil Tracker, and we have a remake of Kenner's Season 2 Young Rex. Very cool stuff. I even like the background they use for the kind of diorama shot here. Again, very Kenner-esque. I really like all the attention to detail they put into this thing. You could tell these guys are fans of Kenner themselves. We also get the capture gear for the Young Rex. And yeah, I do got plenty of things to say about this set. So let's go ahead and just get this thing opened up, because as pretty as the box is, I'm taking a look at it completely. So now I want to see what else this set has to offer. All right, so here's everything you can expect outside the box. You get the Bush Devil Tracker, obviously. You get Ray Arnold, the capture gear, and the Young Rex itself. Pretty good deal for 50 bucks, I must say. We're going to take a look at Ray Arnold first, because he's kind of the least interesting part of the set, at least in my opinion. It's cool to get a different version of him. However, the kind of mismatched look where it's the Roland Tembo chest and the regular body. Hang on. Is this vest removable? It looks like the vest. Yep. You can unplug it at the back, because I'm not really a big fan of this vest. And you can just take it off. So that is pretty cool. It means if you have an extra vest or something that maybe you want to give him something a little more realistic, you can still do that. He still has these heavy duty gloves, which is, I guess, kind of a bummer, but I'm sure you can find an interesting use for this figure, maybe as some kind of, you know, hazard worker or whatnot. Another interesting note about this new figure is that it uses ball points on the leg instead of the hinges that a regular Mattel figure would use. The face sculpt is actually really nice on this, and I'm almost considering switching it out for my Hammond collection one, if it will want to focus. As you can see, it has a sculpted on headset, which is super annoying with my Hammond collection, because the headset's separate, so I constantly lose it. So this is a much nicer kind of all-in-one compact look. I really think they should have just kept the you know, the sculpted on headset, because he's never really without it, and it's such an easily lost accessory. So I'm very happy that they made a head that has it sculpted on. So I might just switch this for my, you know, switch the head with my Hammond collection to give my Hammond collection a better head, and just make this a generic mercenary or a worker or whatever. So pretty interesting. I'm really happy that they made the vest removable. That bumps the figure score up quite a bit, because I do not like this. I know it's based off of Roland Tembo, but big whoop, I didn't even like that figure in the first place. So I'm happy that it is an optional part, because it's going bye-bye. and I'll salvage this body somehow, because I actually did buy 2 of these. I'm actually planning on customizing the truck and the Rex. So yeah, I mean, I guess you guys can look forward to that. Am I right? So that's pretty much it for the figure. Nothing else unique, no new articulation or anything like that. Here is this little weapon that also can plug into the car. It's just like a spear rod. I would have preferred a snare. You know, something we see in the movies, either like I guess you do see cattle prods in the movie, but I think a snare would be a little more useful. I understand what they did for this set, because there's no way you're snaring a Rex, but I just think as a capture part in general, it'd be more useful to wrangle the dinosaur than just piss it off by electrocuting it. You know what I mean? So that's that. Let's take a look at the car here. Still has this little thing on it. So the Bush Devil Tracker. Unfortunately, I don't have one, at least not in good shape and at, you know, arm's reach to show you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and just flash up a picture of what the Kenner Bush Devil Tracker looks right now. And as you can see, it's not, you know, one for one, but it is a very nice homage. It has the same kind of shape, same simplified structure of the JP Jeep, has the same number, but there are some unique differences, mainly that the seat does not pull out on this one like the Easel Sorna cars do. Pretty sad about that, but you do get a nice little pegs right there for someone to hang on to. It's interesting that they didn't put a cannon on top here, because A, there was one on the Bush Devil Tracker, and B, it seems like there's pegs for legs to stand on for someone to stand back here and, well, ideally shoot a turret. So it's kind of interesting they didn't pack in a turret for this thing. Kind of a bummer, but you do get plenty of seating for 2 characters. Doors just open up, real simple. Rolls really nicely. Pretty interesting decal here on the front. Obviously you have the JP logo, but also this camo is pretty interesting. One thing I don't like is that the JP logo is actually sunken into the Jeep instead of it just being a sticker, which is nice and official looking, but I am planning on turning this thing into a engine Jeep as well for my second one, so it is going to be a little gaudy seeing a big dent in the front, but I guess I can use the excuse they just reused their salvage the Jeep, right? So but it is kind of a bummer that they chose that just for my personal reasons. And yeah, it is assembled by screws, so it should be relatively easy to pull apart. So that's the Jeep. Figures fit in pretty easily. No real battle damage or dino damage gimmicks, which is kind of a missed opportunity. I just feel like every JP car should have at least something like a tearaway door, tear off front roof, or whatever. Just something to make them uniquely Jurassic Park and, you know, have some compatibility with the dinosaurs other than just being in the same play scenario or picture. So yeah, that is my thoughts. Jeep's nice, but maybe a couple action gimmicks could have been added on for some extra fun. But let's move on to the big part of this set, our Rex. And it is really cool, but I do have quite a few gripes with it. I guess I'll get off. My main gripe with it is that it's just the extreme chomping. Let me go ahead and get a default extreme chomping, and let's see if the body is any bigger or smaller. The closest thing I could find to the original extreme chomping. It's just so hot in my garage, I did not want to look in there. But it does not seem to be any smaller, so that does bring up my second issue. There's a better look at it. Body is about the same size. So that brings up my second issue, is that when this line began, this body mold was touted as just being a T-Rex, a standard size T-Rex. Now, we know that is not accurate because it's a little too small, but this was touted to be, you know, just a regular size T-Rex. So it is a little bit of a bummer that they used this mold to make a young T-Rex. While it does look like a young T-Rex in comparison to like the Extreme Chomping, not the Extreme Chomping, the Epic Roaring, or mainly the Heron Collection, it isn't necessarily small enough to be the kind of young Rex we're expecting from Kenner. So my main gripe really with it is that it's just a little too big for what it's supposed to be. If this was just a T-Rex, this would be an excellent figure, but it's supposed to be a juvenile T-Rex. So this is more like a sub-adult size rather than a younger juvenile. So I would have preferred them to make either just a brand new sculpt with rubber. It's your last 93 Classic. Go all out, you know what I mean? So that is kind of a bummer that it's just a reused body mold. We're getting those last bits of extreme chompins out the door somehow, right? But the head sculpt. Now, before we get on the head sculpt, my second gripe, it has something to do with it, is that the neck. The neck just seems a little too long to me. You guys can let me know what you think down in the comments, but this neck, it just looks a little giraffe-y, a little sauropod-y length. I don't know what. You just need to cut it down just a little bit and bring the length down, and it would look a little less stretched out. I don't know. You guys let me know if you think the neck looks just fine or it looks a little too long, because I think I'm leaning towards a little bit too long side. I guess you can kind of excuse it by saying, well, it's a juvenile, so it has skinnier, proportions, which, I guess you could use that to justify it, but it's always going to look awkward on the eyes, just because you're expecting either to look like the Jurassic Park T-Rex perfectly, or you're expecting it to look like the young T-Rex. In both cases, its neck is too long. But that being said, the head is phenomenally sculpted. This totally brings back the feeling of that classic Kenner Rex. I totally love the head sculpt they brought with this thing. It's very nice, stout, boxy, very Jurassic Park-esque, and it's just a perfect head sculpt for a JP Juvenile Rex. I can also see this thing making a pretty good Carbosaurus, but that's a different story. Anyway, the head sculpt is really nice. Now, bringing up the classic Extreme Chompin, you can see just how different it is. Open frame. Yeah, it's really night and day. Not only are the teeth so much better. Look at the teeth on this one. The gimmick is just so smooth and buttery. You press it and it immediately goes up. No questions asked. And it works perfectly. And it's exactly what I wanted them to do. You guys who've been watching my reviews for years know that I've always asked Mattel, because usually when they do this kind of gimmick, the toys like this, you press the button and it chomps. But I've always said, dinosaurs have their mouths resting closed 90% of the time. Have a button that when you press it, the mouth opens, not closes, opens. The mouth should be closed at a resting state and opens when you press the button. And my God, they finally did it. And it's so awesome. Look, you have a regular T-Rex, now you have a roaring one. This is how buttons should be when it comes to roaring. They did this with a lot of their dinosaurs like the Spinosaurus, so I'm happy that the T-Rex has it. Of course, the Extreme Chompin also had it, but this is mainly a complaint for the other dinosaurs that I've reviewed, where it's like the mouth is open by default and then you have to close it. No, not the Beckel Spinax. I don't know why I was thinking that, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys who are deep into the line know exactly what I'm talking about. This also gives us kind of a good opportunity to compare the neck length. So the neck on this guy starts about right here, and you can see that I don't know. The neck peg on this one does look a little shorter, but I am actually not sure. You guys are definitely going to have to let me know down in the comments if the neck bothers you or not. Another gripe is the color on the tail only goes down halfway. The tail cheaping out again. They knew we wouldn't be able to see the tail, so they didn't even bother doing it all the way. But I suppose it's not the end of the world. I can try and color match this and then continue it on while I'm customizing the other Rex. So I might be able to fix this, but if I can't color match it, I'm just going to leave it like this. But it is kind of a bummer, and kind of an unsightly one too, because you really notice it even from afar that the back of the tail is just completely blank. But that being said, the Rex still looks fantastic. Its head articulation is totally on point. You get the full range of movement like you would with any other Extreme Chompin. The gimmick, like I said, is extremely buttery smooth, very easy to press. Teeth look phenomenal. Now that they're doing these separately molded teeth, it just looks so great. And yeah, what else can I say? I mean, I guess we could compare this guy to the original Kenner toy. This is why it pays off to be an OG collector, because I got a huge classic Kenner repertoire. So as you can see, I might have to just go back and redo this whole Rex, to be honest, because now that I actually have the old figure in my hand, it's actually three tones. This black color should only be on top. and there should be a darker blue coming from the underneath side. So I actually might go back and just redo this whole Rex. I might leave it, I might not. I might go back, try and make it look a little bit more accurate to this Rex, because I mean, this is nice and very eye-catching, but it's supposed to be this. So I don't know, and this is nicer. I'm already repainting one Rex, and I might as well go back and just do them both. You know, just to help it along and be what it's supposed to be, which is this, and it looks much better. But here's a good look at the head sculpts. You can definitely see where the inspiration came in. Maybe like the short stoutness of the head, the boxy look, the very stubby features in the head. So very nice, very cool. If I end up painting these, it'll probably be before the next toy movie, because I actually do have an idea for a set of rowdy, mischievous twins of young Tyrannosaurs that get into no good trouble. So we'll see if they're repainted by then or not. One of them will definitely be repainted, but I'm not sure if I'll repaint this one. Guys, let me know down in the comments if you guys want to see this one get repainted as well, or if you want me to have a stock T-Rex in the movie along with the custom one. So let me know. You know, if you want two customs or just a stock one and a custom one. If you guys, because I know some people do like to see the stock Mattel toys in the movies because it's a little more relatable for them. So I totally understand that. So you guys, let me know. Okay, just let me know what you guys want to see, because I'm totally flexible enough to do whatever you guys are down for. So anyway, that's really all I had to say about this set. I'm gonna give it a I'm gonna have to give it an 8 out of 10. There were some missed opportunities, like the Rex should have had a new mold, the Jeep should have had a little bit more going on, and the Arnold is a little lackluster, but those are just minor gripes. The rest of it, I mean, the Jeep is still fantastic, the Rex is still fantastic, and Arnold, well, no, Arnold is not fantastic. Oh, I almost forgot to try on the capture gear. Whoa, guys, isn't that awesome how I figured that out on my own and didn't have to look at the back of the box? Crazy, right? So, we got the capture gear on. Then we put the little shackles on. And yeah. I guess another bummer I could mention is that there's no way to break out of the capture gear. That was kind of a... no, actually I lied. That was a gimmick with the second movie. The first movie didn't really have break out of the capture gear gimmicks, did it? No. So, forget what I just said. If they do a reimagined line and they do some Lost World throwbacks, then they gotta have some break out of the capture gear gimmicks, because that was a Lost World thing. In the first movie, they just got captured and that was the end of it. They got sent back to their gulag. They got sent back to the gulag. So, yeah, still great set. Love the capture gear. Love the whole presentation of this thing. It is just an awesome, awesome set. And, you know, kids today are eating well with these Mattel toys. So, let me know if you guys plan on getting this. What are your thoughts? And, again, I'm serious about the toy movie. Let me know what you guys prefer to see, because I am on the cusp of just repainting this whole thing. But if you guys want to see this guy appear in a movie, maybe before he gets repainted, or just want to see him in the movies as he is, let me know, because I am definitely interested in knowing what you guys think about that. So, anyway, guys, I got more reviews to do, so I'll catch you guys probably tomorrow with a G.I. Joe review, and then the next day will be Claire and Delta from the Hammond Collection. So you guys will be getting reviews for the next 2 days at least. Alright, so I'll catch you guys later. This has been Toy Adventures, and I'll be signing out, catching you guys next time. Peace!